my last video, I said Ezra Klein was a fascist, and well, people got mad. So I asked ChatGPT if Ezra Klein calls himself a journalist, because journalists have an ethical duty to inform. But the thing is, ChatGPT has a profit-seeking imperative to provide a satisfying answer. So in response to my question, does Ezra Klein consider himself a journalist, ChatGPT invented a fake Columbia journalism interview with Klein that never happened, in which he fake said, "I've always thought of myself as a journalist who is trying to explain the systems underneath political news, not just cover the day-to-day. ChatGPT even put this fake quote under a section it called "in his own words." And I was pissed because a source that I want to put my trust in let me down by misrepresenting reality to me. And that's exactly why I called Klein a fascist. Because I know that Klein omits context about the threat of fascism, which makes him essentially a source many people trust who misrepresents reality. So should I have called him a fascism apologist? A great guy? Daddy? That's for you to decide. But if you remain a Klein fan, you should write to him to demand better, because you deserve better. The most essential context for the public to understand about the right-wing operatives that Klein just whitewashed is the Christian nationalist billionaires of the Council for National Policy, who spend hundreds of millions to fund the influence operations of people like Kirk and Shapiro to achieve their goal of a theocracy. That's what's actually happening. To get the CNP context Klein failed to provide, read Ann Nelson's book Shadow Network or the reporting of Jenny Cohn, links in my bio. In a toxic information ecosystem flooded with strategic noise and bullshit by our billionaire overlords, I'm devoting my life to helping people understand what high-quality journalism is and why we need to fight for it. Because I care about joy and happiness and know that the way to achieve more of it in a democracy is by assessing for the public those journalists and news outlets that are reporting in the public interest and those that aren't. True journalism is a democracy's immune system. It detects threats, raises alarms, and builds resistance so that we can make healthy decisions at the ballot box. Ezra Klein's journalism is a placebo pill. So drop Ezra Klein from your media diet and check out the trustworthy, contextualizing pundits and news outlets in my Blue Sky lists linked in the bio. Because the question we should be asking ourselves isn't, is this source of news left or right? But is this source of news factually accurate, providing essential context, and biased towards democracy? Join the army I'm building to fight the information war by giving me a follow. Consider a $2 a month subscription to my Patreon, where you get access to a growing community of fact warriors, actions you can take to uplift journalism and improve your media literacy, and our pro-democracy book club. Because fascism only exists where propaganda is strong and journalism is weak. Oh, and it's lame, but if you use ChatGPT, be sure to always follow up its responses with questions like, is all of this information verifiable and factually accurate, or did you hallucinate anything? Then go straight to the primary sources it provides. Here's the healthier information, am I right?